Hi, how's it going? My name is Susan O'Neill, and I'm from and based in the west of Ireland, where I write music and play with sound. And when I get the chance to travel across borders and ponds, I do that too, and try to share some of those sounds with whoever is open and happy to listen. My latest release was an EP called Now You See It, and the title track of the EP was about just grabbing life's moments, that it's so fleeting, that it's here and it's gone, and we can't hold on to it, and trying to do so is kind of in vain oftentimes. And it was an attempt to remind myself of some of those things that can happen to people when I get lost in wanting to hold on to something that's good, that feels good. So let's hold it and keep it exactly where it is. And the reminder not to do that. There's some other songs there. It was made between Boston and LA and Ireland. And it was also an exploratory time where I was trying out different sounds in order to settle on where I was going to head for the album, which is actually what I'm making right now. And it's kind of found another pocket. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I have been touring some of those songs around, and it's been going really well, and it was very well received. I was very grateful for that. It's my first time to play the Stan Rogers Folk Festival this year, so I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea anything. It's a clean slate of excitement, and I've heard some really nice things about it, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm very grateful to them for having me. I actually never look at the lineup before I go to a festival, funnily enough, ever really. And sometimes I'll see a little bit of it when I'm tagged, but I try. My favorite way to approach festivals is to walk around in the moments that you're there, because sometimes you're coming and going when you have your own gig, and just see who you see and meet who you meet, and allow it to be this kind of serendipitous happening. And of course you're there for most of the night. So yeah, and as a lot of artists are new for me this year, so I think I'll be discovering a lot of new artists, which is cool. If someone hadn't seen me yet, how to describe my performance, I would hope that it is energetic and genuine and soulful. Soulful meaning a sentiment of the spark within the music rather than the actual genre. But I really try to, every time I play, especially at a festival and a place that's new, I mean all the time, but just really tap into the real stuff. Try and remind myself every time why I do it. And I think I do that. Sometimes, you have to pinch yourself if you're up on stage, and remind myself what a beautiful job and path it is to be able to do this. So I hope that comes across to people when I'm doing it. The first festival I ever attended properly was probably a festival called Oxygen in Ireland in 2007. It was one of those big, huge festivals kind of aimed at post secondary school. It was a younger demographic and lots of bands, and it was kind of wild, and it rained so hard that year, and the mud. I had wellies, I was prepared, but we were sludging through each step. We got destroyed I had never known what the stamina was required to do 3 days of that kind of hardcore. And I was kind of mad for dancing and going a bit wild as well. So, I made the most of it. It was a good time was had. It was a good way to, but I remember I did it the hard way first. It's all been a little easier since then. So there's going to be a tribute to Gordon Lightfoot. I actually must admit I only got introduced properly to the music of Gordon Lightfoot over the last 1.5 to 2 years from playing in Canadian festivals, and someone had said, "You don't know?" And then I said, "I'm so sorry, I don't." And they said, "No, you do." And then when they clicked up on the Google page, I had known a number of the songs, so it was purely, and I know it must be one of the more common ones, but I really do think Early Morning Rain is just a beautiful piece of work written, very stunning, very meditative, and very relaxing, and it's a very sweet piece of music. Food and drink at festivals. I am a fan of whatever is going. I like to try new things. Popcorn seems to be a big thing over here for festivals that maybe I didn't see that much. I know that's not necessarily foodie type things, but I also do love a good curry at a festival, something ricey. But I'm normally quite easygoing. Falafels, you can't beat an falafel at a festival either. Stuff that's kind of easy to eat out of the hand. I know maybe curries aren't so much, but sustaining and with lovely sustenance, some food that just is nourishing. If I created my own festival lineup, am I allowed to bring people back from the dead? If so, it might look a little bit like the first Woodstock. But that's a really big and tough question. There's so many. I love, rather than maybe going through all the different bands, but I love what some of the festivals do in terms of really pulling artists from all over the world. That is very special. And I guess with traveling having changed over the last couple of years and upgraded, and it's become somewhat more affordable, it's great that we can do that. I know in some cases it has not become more affordable, but in the sense is that flying now long distance, it's manageable. So we get the chance to see some of these amazing acts, and I think that when festivals go to the effort of having international people come and play, it's hugely beneficial for both the artists that get to do it, and I know I'm in a similar position to that at the moment, but also I think for the people that are there and listening. And when I'm at home and an act has travelled a long way to come and play, you feel such joy and privilege in there in hearing and witnessing what they do, and I think it's a very special thing, and I would go to great lengths to try and do a lot of that while I'm organising a festival of my own. What else do I love to do in the summer months? I like to, at the moment I'm learning to surf. I've been learning for maybe 1.5 to 2 years now, but I'm only just getting passable. So I'd like to do a good bit more of that. I like to cycle. I'm quite active. I like a little bit of horse riding, and there's a local horse farm where the horses are treated really well on this Icelandic farm. Icelandic horse farm, I should say. Yeah, I love being outdoors in the summer and just trying my hand at anything. Nothing like a good beer and a sunset as well. Just chilling is very, very important. And just to be, I think when the evenings are longer and the weather allows it, it's all right to just be. I find in the winter I'm a bit more antsy with trying to be productive, and maybe less so as a result because the weather is not as conducive to getting out and doing things. Thank you so much for asking me questions and having the chats, and I hope to see you down the line.